This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Frank, amazing. They've been playing golf on these hallowed links lands since the 15th century.
And hopefully they'll play for many and more a year, because every great player that's ever played this game has walked over Swilcan Bridge.
That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie. Oh, I thought he had that. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Routine stuff for Rory, that's a par. Trying to get the round off to a good start. Frank, we're at the second hole, and what's ahead?
Well, the ideal tee shot, just a little over that gorse bush in front of you, which is down the right side. That's the best angle in, but it also brings in a little bit of trouble. But if that pin is anywhere towards the middle of this double green, then really you want to be coming in from the right side.
Not the best shot, this one in the rough, but still will have a play from there. Second shot coming out of the rough here.
No, this is never going to go right. Just depends how far left.
Out of the rough and just a bit offline.
Rich, that was some shot out of the rough. I really didn't think he could even get that on the green.
Well, just to get it on the green, as you say, I think is a big win. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
At the third hole now, Frank, it looks relatively easy, but you know there's some danger lurking somewhere out there on the old course.
There is. There's the pot bunkers down the right side. This is a tee where really you want to have an idea where that wind is coming from. If it's into your face, you might want to be a little cautious and go towards the middle of the golf course. But if it's behind you, well, then it's worth challenging that right side.
Well, he really moved that one. 320 yards and in the fairway. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
He's hit the green, but his work is by no means finished. A difficult putt coming up from about 25 feet. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Locked in on the read and the speed. That's a par, and that keeps the scorecard clean, still even for the round. Frank now at the 4th hole.
Yeah, long par 4. 2 choices, whether you game enough to drive it down the right or down the left, which is a much wider piece of fairway. Oh, I liked that.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Well, that is a really good tee shot right there, Frank.
I think that tipped the 300-yard mark. Second shot.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. That will be a great look at birdie. Not a gimme, but well within his range.
Oh, how did that miss?
Are you kidding me? I mean, that one was dead center. So just a formality here. Solid par. Chance here at the par 5 fifth, Frank, to make a little move early in the round.
Yeah, it's certainly eagles galore. The fifth hole is one of the biggest greens on the golf course, shared with the 13th. So good tee shot, and you have a nice big target, even though it's a blind second shot coming up.
That's a good start to the hole, right down the middle. Playing his second shot here at the par 5. Not quite where he wanted it, but it is on the green, and that's not too bad. This is a long putt. Really, the key is the speed. If it drops, that's a bonus. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. So a tester from 4 feet. That's a birdie for McIlroy. He's just so explosive. Moving on to the par 4 sixth hole here at the birthplace of golf. This hole shares a green actually with the 12th. How do you work your way around this hole, Frank?
Some sort of tee shot. 3 bunkers that look like they're in the left center of the fairway, and a series of bunkers down the right. So somehow bisect those, and then you set yourself up to a green with a false front.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. Frank, getting set for this approach shot. Our featured golfer is a player, it's obvious, in full flight right now.
It is. This is where it doesn't matter what the sport is, and golf is a great example for it, though, where when you play your best, it's almost like you're just playing out of your subconscious. Everything happens, it just flows, and you don't really think about it.
Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Settles in over the putt. Solid par to remain 1 under. Now, 7th hole here at the old course, Frank.
Ideal line, just hit your tee shot over the marked stone. The bunker on the 11th green actually often comes into play, called the shell bunker. So anything a little bit right of that, but very difficult green for the approach shot coming up. Oh, if this is up, it's good.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. That's an outstanding shot right there, and it sets up a really good look at birdie. Collects another birdie with that stroke and goes to 2 under. Frank, now at the par 3 8th, and how challenging is this hole?
Well, it's called short on the scorecard, but massive green. The problem here is trying to hit it close. A lot of little subtle breaks and undulations in this green. Often you see long, long birdie putts here.
Wouldn't say he's ecstatic, but not unhappy either.
At 24 feet, there'll be a lot of players much further away than that on this hole.
That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Just a couple of feet. Par for McIlroy, but you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away. Rounding out the opening 9 here at St. Andrews, and Frank, this par 4 features a couple of fairway bunkers that players will have to contend with.
Yeah, this is a fun hole when you first stand on that tee and look at it. You see those bunkers smack bang in the middle of the fairway. The last bunker there in the middle is called the end hole. This hole is called the end. But this green, too, is so flat, very, very difficult to read. But if you get there, pull the head cover off the driver. Remember, this is the only chance you get to play the old course.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. He can really get red hot with a putter. Let's see what McIlroy does. Excellent roll for 3 under par. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. Digs in, ready for the bunker shot.
Yeah, second shot here. Just try and aim a little bit behind that ball, an inch or two.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
Not quite where he was aiming, but still enough room to get it up and down. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Missed putt and a drop shot here at the 10th. Well, not going to make par here. He needs this to only give up 1. Now at -2 for the day. Hole number 11, the Eden, is really the finest medium-length one-shotter in all of golf, isn't it, Frank?
Well, this hole's been copied by many an architect for the reasons why it's normally very, very difficult to make a hole of this length, or should I say this short, so difficult. But they've managed to do that here at Eden with that Strath bunker in the front and the severe sloping on either side of that bunker.
That can really be brutal, can it?
It certainly does. And if you have any doubt there, you'll come unstuck at 11.
Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Frank, the charm of St. Andrews, the history of the old course, it all sort of comes into view here at the 12th, doesn't it?
Yeah, very pretty hole. Eden estuary to the right, obviously a nice view of the township of St. Andrews in the distance, but long hitters can just lick their chops and have a crack at this green. All they've got to do is worry about that little top bunker short, but either into the breeze, or if you're not a long hitter, you've got to worry about those 4 bunkers that are well placed smack bang in the middle of this fairway.
That's good stuff right there. Wonderful approach, and now a really good look at birdie. Shouldn't be a problem here. Are you kidding me? He just missed that. I cannot believe that. That was such a short putt. Did the job right there. Now to the par 4 13th, and again, Frank, it's all about avoiding the bunkers.
Yeah, another hole that forces you to go either right or left of something that you can see. The 2 bunkers called the coffins right up ahead. You can also go beyond those, and if you do, then you've got a much shorter shot in, but you've got to avoid those fairway bunkers. They are very costly.
You don't want to make a habit of it. In the bunker again off the tee. Frank, just a slight miss off the tee. He's in the fairway bunker.
Yeah, just really got to pick the right club once again. Sometimes you take a little bit more club out of the fairway bunker, choke down.
His second shot. Out of the sand and back on the fairway.
Yeah, good shot. Just really utilised that little bit between the ears. Realised he couldn't reach the green and instead opted for fairway.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
That is a painful miss right there. And a bogey. Drop shot here at the 13th. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Now at 1 under for the round. Frank, you can actually play this 14th hole by taking a detour to another hole on the front side. Explain.
Yeah, that's the 4th hole. The 4th hole is adjacent to the 14th, and if you're in a little bit of trouble off the tee, there's nothing wrong with playing the 14th as a zigzag style par 5. So that means the drive, if it doesn't go down the right, you go further left and then back to the green. But it's a safer way, but a much longer option. Second shot.
Getting some sand in the shoes now. For a second straight hole, he's in the bunker. Third shot coming up now from the bunker. Oh man, not a good shot at all.
It was wicked.
How about that shot right there from that lie in the rough to knock it that close? That's good. Routine stuff for Rory. That's a par. Back here at the 15th, and Frank, this fairway narrows up in a hurry.
And it's also, there's a big crop of heather that sort of constrains you if you're going to hit it just straight down the middle. Only the brave go down the right side. Brings in those little bunkers called robs. And they'll rob your scorecard, that's for sure.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Pretty good stroke right there. Just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
These putts keep the round together. Struggling a bit with the flat stick and a drop shot here at the 15th hole. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. And he makes it for a bogey here. Headed for home now, partner. The 16th hole, and what are we looking at here?
Well, you have to avoid the principal's nose. Otherwise, you're going to finish up in the principal's office. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like.
Yeah, it was a little over-ambitious.
Frank, you always talk about it not compounding the error, but here again, another shot from the rough.
Yeah, if you try again. Rich, that was some shot out of the rough. I really didn't think he could even get that on the green.
Well, just to get it on the green, as you say, I think is a big win. Just slides by.
Yeah, can't afford to miss too many of those out here today.
This to avoid a huge number. This is for bogey. 1 over for the day. The famous 17th at the Open Championship, Frank, you begin to see the scoreboards, the grandstands, and you know all eyes are on you for the next couple of holes.
Yeah, this is one hole I think that anybody that goes to the old course certainly wants to play. Blind tee shot. You've got to flash it across the out of bounds and somehow find the fairway. If you go too safe down the left side, well, there's some heather to be chopping out of. Good tee shot certainly gives you a chance to hit it this beautiful green that's angled to the left, well protected by the road hole bunker. And if you're a little ambitious and a little strong, then there's a road itself and out of bounds beyond this green.
So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems. Safely on the dance floor.
Rory McIlroy looking to take advantage with this putt. Seems to really have the touch today. Well, when you stick your tee into the hallowed grounds here on the 18th at the old course at St. Andrews, Frank, you know you're playing a piece of history.
And a chance, too, to finish it off in style, because this par 4 is reachable. A lot of people will aim at the clock tower, which is on the R&A building in the distance. That's a little left of the screen. Yeah, if you feel a little brave and you want to make a hero of yourself, just aim a little further right, exactly where the green is. Avoid the Valley of Sin, and you might just have a wee dram at the end of the day.
Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Par for McIlroy, but you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away. Frank, it really was vintage St. Andrews today in so many ways. Just a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, the old course has so many great memories. Obviously, when it crowns the 2015 Open champion, it will add another great name to its already impressive roster. But for anybody to play this great golf course, it's a chance to be linked with the past and the future of the game.
Couldn't have said it better myself, pal. And with that, for my colleague Frank Nobilo, I'm Rich Lerner for EA Sports saying so long. This is EA Sports, PGA Tour coverage coming your way. Welcome to TPC Sawgrass, known for one of the most terrifying holes in all of golf, the 17th Island Green. This is Rich Lerner alongside my colleague Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. We'll be calling all the action for today's event. Frank, you're no stranger to this layout, one of the most demanding golf courses on tour.
Yeah, well, it certainly is. There's water abound. This course is famous for its tragedies as well as its triumphs. But if you get through here successfully, then you can certainly pat yourself on the back. What a great shot.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Well, that is a really good tee shot right there, Frank.
I think that tipped the 300-yard mark. Plus, with Rory The chat in the locker room, when you hear someone say, I couldn't hit that shot he just hit today, that's when you know you're different.
How about the 2 eagles he made in the final 3 holes Saturday, round 3, on his way to winning the Open Championship in 2014?
That was phenomenal. 16 was virtually unreachable for most of the field. 2 phenomenal shots. And obviously he's in a tussle with Ricky Fowler. And then to top it off, that 5-iron he hit into 18 was just, it never left the flagstick. Yeah, he has that ability just to hit the gas pedal at the right time.
Not the best shot, this one in the rough, but still will have a play from there. Frank, just into that first cut.
Yeah, it's sitting up. Really, this isn't too bad a situation.
Crucial eagle attempt on the way. Needs a pair of binoculars to see the hole. Well, that's not the way you wanted to start out the backside here.
Yeah, you can't afford from inside 10 feet. It just, you feel like you have to make those, and I mean, they really sting when they miss.
Not a real hard game, is it? Birdie to open. Setting up for the 3rd hole here at TPC Sawgrass. Relatively short par 3 at 177 yards.
But you've got to carry that ball at least 4 or 5 yards onto this green, even when it's firm.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Well, too bad, Frank. That one rolled right off the green.
It was just coming out so hot.
You like this one, Frank?
Oh, it's a good one. Safely on.
Just 5 feet left. To -2 early in the round. So much focus here, Frank, on 16, 17, and 18. Number 4 is a hole that gets overlooked, but it's a fun one.
Yeah, the second shot here is more daunting, especially when that flag's on the left. So you really do start looking at that blue stuff, water.
Let's see what McIlroy does now with his second. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Holding steady now at 2 under par. 5th hole here at TPC Sawgrass. Long par 4. What's the challenge, Frank?
Depending, really, if you're long or short hitter. The long hitters have the luxury of taking it over the corner of the bunker down the right. Shorter hitters really play at that bunker down the left. 320 run out.
Good contact, good result. That's in the fairway. This is going to be a tough day on the links. I mean, even the seagulls are walking to work.
Second shot.
Well, he's on the green, but still plenty of work left. About a 25-footer coming up. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. He has this attempt for par. That's 2 under par, playing well. Hole number 6, 393 yards, par 4. What's in store for us here, Frank?
Another one really where you're just trying to poke it down there. When you stand on that back tee, there's an overhanging limb that you just get an eye of. So if you try and hit that ball a little too low, that's going to encourage a miss hit. Got the measurement out there, Rich. Looks like 290 yards.
Frank, now the second shot here at hole number 6.
Yeah, not overly long, but be very aware of these palm trees that are short. Many a shot's caught those trees coming into this green.
And it makes the green in regulation. And the computer dials this one up at 26 feet. This one has a good line. Oh, he's going to love it.
How far was that? That was miles away.
7th hole here at Sawgrass. Frank, a bit uncomfortable off the tee.
It is. It reminds me a little bit of the opening hole, much longer version, where when you stand on the tee and look at the green, it's a straightaway hole. But that fairway goes to the left and it comes back to the right. But they're all optical illusions.
Frank, getting set for this approach shot. Our featured golfer is a player, it's obvious, in full flight right now.
It is. This is where it doesn't matter what the sport is, and golf is a great example for it, though, where when you play your best, it's almost like you're just playing out of your subconscious. Everything happens, it just flows, and you don't really think about it.
He can really get red hot with a putter. Let's see what McIlroy does. That may have been a bit too much to ask for there, that distance putt, Frank.
Yeah, it's fine to be greedy before you hit the putt, but after you've hit it, 2 from that distance is fine.
Routine stuff for Rory, that's a par. Frank, this is a hole that I really like. The 8th, 237-yard par 3, just a necklace of bunkers surrounding the green. What's the best approach?
Well, you come out through that chute or that hallway of trees there, and this being the longest of the 4 par 3s at TPC Sawgrass, the green actually plays much smaller than what it looks because of that narrow entry. Well, it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Second shot coming out of the rough here.
Another good swing, another good approach shot.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Nice par to remain 3 under. Frank, what do you make of the final hole here on the front side, the 583-yard par 5 9?
Just depends on how much you want to risk here. If you hit a good drive down the right side, it's certainly gettable for 2, but you can make an absolute mess here at 9.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Up with the big boys now, Frank.
Well, we saw that previous tee shot go 310. This one's further.
Frank, still relatively early in the round, but given what we've seen so far, this could be a heck of a golf round.
Yeah, right now, everything's just going according to plan. It's like he's playing on all 8 cylinders. So really, you're just trying to get out of your own way. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. In the bunker, still with a chance for an up and down. Looking to splash this softly onto the green. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, that's a formality now.
And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Drops another birdie and moves to 4 under on the day. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Excellent drive, Frank, right where you want to be. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Par for McIlroy, but you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away. All right, hole number 11 here at the TPC Sawgrass, 558 yard, par 5, no shortage of options, no shortage of hazards. Frank?
If there's one hole at TPC Sawgrass where you can literally leap out of your shoes, this is it.
Playing his second shot here at the par 5. That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Not missing by much today, but enough to again be in the bunker. Third shot now from the bunker. Well, no other way to say it, Frank. That's just an awful shot.
Bad. Rich, I think he's going for a different...
Frank, they threw him a life vest. He's back on dry land.
And I hope this time he swings, he doesn't have the water wings on.
So, in the water, now in position, playing his 6th shot.
Just got to act like it didn't happen. Great shot out of the rough. He avoided all the troubles just to get that on the green.
That was not an easy shot. He'll settle. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Two under on the day. Frank, what's so much fun about TPC Sawgrass is the excitement that it generates for a fan and how many different holes there are. 12 is a good example.
Yeah, 12 looks like it's fresh from Scotland. You can see why Pete Dye spent a lot of time over there. Tee shot looks straight away, but the second shot is blind. The shot you'd get in Scotland with a wedge where you just see the top of the flagstick and you've got to really guesstimate on the yardage that you have. But a good wedge shot and someone that can judge their distance, this is certainly a birdie hole.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play, very solid. On the green and looking at a birdie opportunity. Rory McIlroy looking to take advantage with this putt. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Par attempt here. With authority. Count it as a par and 2 under. Frank, 17 gets so much attention here at the TPC Sawgrass, but 13, par 3, is exciting in its own right.
It is, and it's actually more difficult than 17. One of the reasons it's longer, and also the green here. 17 obviously has two sections in it, front and top. This has, I don't think there's a flat piece on it. And every now and again we watch the ball roll all over this green and actually find the cup for the odd ace.
Frank, how did he do there?
Well, he's inside 30 feet, but 27 feet, it's not exactly what you'd call close.
That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Workmanlike hole. He walks away with a par. Frank, historically in this great championship, 14 has proven to be a pivotal hole.
Everybody focuses on the finish here, but you're absolutely right, Rich. This can be an absolute scorecard record because if you spin your drive left, the drop back, perhaps on the ladies' tees, you can make 6 in a heartbeat. You try and air to the right, you can make 6 from the mounds. So a good drive down 14 gives you a chance for that fast finish.
Right in the heart of the fairway, green light special. This is just a superb performance. Great round to this point, Frank, and you can really see that reflected in his mood today.
Yeah, it just looks too easy. Swinging the club beautifully. Ball's going exactly where he wants it to. He's not trying to take too many risks. So consequently, he's getting birdie opportunity after birdie opportunity.
Solid play, heart of the green. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Just drip that in.
Well, it's 4 1/4 inches. Use it all.
Just before we get to what they call the gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18, 15 requires all of your attention, doesn't it, Frank?
Personally, I think this is the prettiest hole on the golf course, Rich. I've actually often gone back there and taken pictures. Just a gentle dogleg to the right. You come out of the chute. Seems to be a generous fairway. You just get a little view of the bunker down the right side, but virtually there's no lip there, so that's not a concern. The green, all sorts of weird and wonderful waves on it, well protected by a big bunker on the left, and there's 2 little pop bunkers out on the right that, if your first time around, you might notice.
Just a little offline, so now, Frank, he's going to have to deal with the rough.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how strong he is.
Superb shot.
Well, that's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Two under par for the round. Now the start of the gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18. Par 5, 16. Frank, Tiger made birdie here all 4 days in winning in 2013.
Fred Couples made that fantastic eagle many years ago. Hole bends a little to the player's left. You don't have to hit driver here if you're a long hitter, but you really must move that ball right to left.
Frank, it may be obvious you'd rather have a ball sitting up perfectly in these fairways as opposed to the deep rough off to the left or right. But how is a player able to take advantage when he has that good lie?
Well, anything better than that would be sitting on a tee. That is a perfect lie. It almost guarantees good contact.
Into the tall cabbage, that ball is swallowed up. Ball sitting down here in the rough, he's digging in. And from the rough, he manages to not only make the green, but get within easy striking distance of the hole. Not a gimme, but well within his range. And with that putt, he moves to 3 under. Frank, not to plant the seed of doubt, but we must deliver the facts here on this telecast. 44 balls in the water a couple of years ago, 28 last year.
Rich, that's the announcer's curse. What will he do?
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Birdie try up next. He can really get red hot with a putter. Let's see what McIlroy does. Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Just 5 feet left. Good par. Now to the final hole here at TPC Sawgrass, 462-yard par 4. Frank, is this one of the toughest finishing holes in the sport?
It is, because the simple reason you've played 17 holes and the job isn't done yet. Oh, that's fine.
You want to get to what they call the gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18 with a chance. 16 is the reachable par 5. You can make eagle there. And then the final 2 holes, you just want to steer clear of trouble. Though, with bold play, and you mentioned it with Craig Perch, you could make birdies.
It really is a case of mind over matter when you look at those holes. You're right. If you took away the water, you'd think they're 3 nice holes. But it wouldn't be the same. You intimidate the player as he plays 15. He's well aware of the finishing 3 holes.
Oh, my goodness, Frank. That is painful.
Oh, yeah. You'd rather miss the hole at times, wouldn't you?
Did the job right there. Frank, solid effort today. What's your assessment?
Golf like that can certainly result in wins, that's for sure. But more importantly, the opportunity to get one.
Today's coverage brought to you by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. We're at one of the premier stops on the PGA Tour in Orlando, Florida. It's the Bay Hill Club and Lodge, the house that Arnold Palmer built. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for Golf Channel and EA Sports.
And Bay Hill, of course, the Arnold Palmer Invitational has been really the staple in the Florida swing on the PGA Tour.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Let's see what the dominant number one player can do. Rory McIlroy now on the approach shot. Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
So the second of the par four goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game.
Tough game, Frank. You can hit 300-yard drives and miss 3-foot putts.
Yeah, there's the ecstasy, and that's the agony.
So with that, 1 over par. Back to the action here at the Bay Hill Club and Lodge. Second hole, it is a pretty demanding par 3, Frank.
Goal really is to just carry that front bunker or sneak it a little right of that and try and cheat it around. Should be safely on deck.
Certainly had enough power, just didn't have any touch. Let's see what McIlroy does now with his second. And he's made it onto the green now. Shouldn't be a problem here. Par for McIlroy, but you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away. Now to the par 4 third, 434 yards and plenty of trouble on that left side.
One of the hardest tee shots on the front side. Water very much in play down the left.
Uh-oh, this one's going left, Frank. Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point, you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle.
Frank, this is always such a difficult spot for a golfer. You just hit one out of bounds, you're trying to regroup.
He's going to need to more than regroup now.
Getting set now for his fourth shot. Took the penalty after hitting it out of bounds.
Yeah, this can get away from him here.
To 1 over par early on in this round. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Fourth hole is the first par 5 on the golf course, Frank.
Very scoreable. 2 bunkers down the left, the first of which takes 330 yards to get it past that.
Definite birdie hole, maybe even a chance for Eagle to really jumpstart the round.
Got the measurement out there, Rich. Looks like 290 yards.
Second from an excellent lie. Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Back to par for the round. Frank, at the fourth, we pulled the hammer out. Here, maybe it's a scalpel?
Well, it just depends. A little trailing breeze. A drive is not always a bad play here. 367 yards to the front. There's a little kick forward. So, wind behind your back, almost worth a go.
Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. And wait for it. Yes, 105 yards away. Frank, this is good golfing weather. Nice, strong breeze. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
You see that kind of work from the bunker, you think of the greats like Seve Ballesteros and Gary Player, the best bunker players of all time. That's a par, and that keeps the scorecard clean, still even for the round. Frank, the par 5-6, this is the signature hole here at Bay Hill.
You've got to really pick a line here, Rich. There's a big pine tree down there. On that line, 260 yards gets it to the fairway.
How important, Frank, is the line off of this tee? Because if you hit it well, but you hit it a little too far left, you're probably going to be wet.
You've got to know exactly how far you carry that driver. Otherwise, you've got no idea which line to take.
Not looking good, Frank.
I think it's wet.
And it looks like it's in the rough there, Frank.
It might not be as bad as it looks.
He'll need to be strong with this. Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot.
Even par, currently.
Now at 1 under for the round. Frank, the good news as you come to the 7th after that beast of a par 5 is that it's just under 200 yards and there's no water.
Yeah, it's not as long as the second, but it's just as demanding. Very narrow entry into this green.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. You don't want to make a habit of it. In the bunker again off the tee. So getting set for a greenside bunker shot. Frank, when I think of the great bunker players in the history of the sport, I think about Gary Player, Seve Ballesteros, who you knew so well. What did they do that made them so effective on these greenside bunker shots?
They had an attitude for a start that was different. For them, it was they saw possibilities. And they would imagine the amount of sand. Remember, because this is the only shot in golf where you don't have to hit the ball first. So they would really choose the amount of sand behind the ball, whether that was an inch or two. Aim the club at that and made sure they followed through. Oh, nice little bounce forward. Should be close to 300, 290.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Knocks it up on the green. It is about 28 feet away from the hole. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. 1 under on the day. Final hole now of the front side. It's a 474-yard par 4. And Frank, you've played it before. What works best here?
Well, ideally a nice little draw off the tee. But the hole's quite weird because the tee shot shapes to the left and yet the green goes the other way.
Frank, right where you want to be.
Wouldn't be better if it was on a tee.
And from the fairway for his second shot here. Good swing, good shot yet again. On the green in regulation. And getting ready for the putt. That was a good run right there. Almost went in.
At least he's seen the line as it went past the hole. So just replicate that on the way back.
Routine stuff for Rory. That's a par. Setting up to start the back 9 here. And if it's anywhere near as good as the front 9, Frank, he'll be very happy with his score at the end of the day.
Yeah, the hardest thing right now is to just keep aiming the thing without focusing on the score.
So that ball nestles down in the rough. Just got to weigh a little bit on that tee ball. Second shot coming out of the rough here. That is going just a tad to the left, it appears.
Hopefully there's enough green that left side.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. That was not a very good read right there. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. They'll take it. That's a par. Now to the 11th with water left, bunkers on the right. Frank, what's the key here?
Well, too often people just look at the scorecard and they go, well, it's over 400 yards, I have to hit driver. You don't have to hit driver at 11. Something in the fairway, just short of that second bunker. And it sets up 6 or a 7 on.
Frank, the second shot here at number 11, another good-looking shot, not unlike the third hole with water along the left. What's the right way to play this?
Walk off 11 with 3, but 4 here never really hurts the scorecard. This is one hole you sort of play with an orange light feeling. A little right of the flag, that's absolutely fine.
And he's made the green. Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Well, not going to make par here. He needs this to only give up 1. That's about as depressing a moment as there is in golf. When you miss the bogey putt, you know you're staring at double. So with that, 1 over par. Now to the par 5 12th. Frank, how good of a scoring opportunity is this?
Well, anytime you get a par 5 at Bay Hill, got to take advantage of it. Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
Good lie in the fairway. A good chance to make something happen here. Well, Frank, the wind is really starting to pick up.
You've got to fixate on the direction now. If you get the direction wrong and or mistime one of those gusts, all sorts of problems.
How about that shot? From that lie to get it that close, tremendous effort. These putts keep the round together. Come on, don't do that.
Cruel lip out.
Did the job right there. Par 4 13th, Frank, you've played it on a number of occasions. How do you attack this hole?
Really one of the shortest on the golf course, but this is a fool's paradise here. There's a lot of things that can go wrong.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Frank, not the longest hitter, but sometimes you win tournaments by putting it in a good spot, and that's where we are right here, 280 yards out.
Yeah, 280 down the middle of the fairway. That'll never get you in trouble.
This won't hurt him, Frank.
Just a little left of the flag. That's fine.
He'll be pretty happy with that one, about 20 feet away in a good spot. That may have been a bit too much to ask for there, that distance putt, Frank.
Yeah, it's fine to be greedy before you hit the putt, but after you've hit it, 2 from that distance is fine.
All right, no damage done. Stays at 1 over par with that putt. Frank, as we come to the 14th of par 3, what's ahead for the players?
Once again, another tough par 3 coming up. Narrow at the front. It gets a little wider the further you go up this green.
Chance to get it close here. Frank, when you look at great rivalries in sports, you realize that athletes need each other. Joe Frazier needed Muhammad Ali to achieve greatness, to achieve legendary status. And in golf, Tom Watson needed Jack Nicklaus to push him to another level.
And also to define an era. Without one, we couldn't think of the 80s or the 90s or the 2000s or the 2010s. You need those players to define that era. So you need competition. Competition is not without rivalry.
Nothing wrong with that par putt. Now at the 15th, big dogleg right here. What's the best way to go, Frank?
Really down the left side. It's very tempting to try and hit it across that bunker, but not only do you have to carry the bunker, you've also got to carry those little shrubs down the right side.
Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. The second shot now to the par 4. Headed for the bunker? Not missing by much today, but enough to again be in the bunker. All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really, you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. 1 over for the day. Frank, this is a great hole late in the round. Par 5 and a chance to really make up some ground or extend the lead. I mean, you can make some things happen here.
Shortest of the 4 par 5s and reachable for just about everyone. But really, it's the second shot. The better the tee shot, the easier you make that second shot. Oh, nice little bounce forward. Should be close to 300, 290.
Nice position, short grass, second shot. So, third shot now for Rory McIlroy. See if you can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. That's a birdie for McIlroy. He's just so explosive. Always like this par 3, Frank. Par 3 17th. Let me amend that. I like watching the best in the world play it because it can be daunting, especially with the pressure ratcheted up.
When they have the tournament on, this green is brick hard. It's a little bit downhill. That's about the only advantage you get.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
So a tester from 4 feet. Still even par for the day. Frank, how'd you like to be a rookie? You're going up against, at the time, the greatest player in the game, the great white shark, Greg Norman, and you hole a 7-iron to win a tournament?
Well, all you had to do was look at the expression on Norman's face as that ball landed and went in.
What did he hit there?
7-iron.
Set for his next shot from a good position in the fairway. Frank, the tournament scoring record was set by Buddy Allen. That was way back in 1973. A whopping 23 under. That's like a video game score.
Yeah, they made sure that would never happen again. They lengthened the golf course. They firmed up the greens. They sped them up. They did everything to make sure that nobody, including you, ever shoots 23 under here again.
Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
So they'll tap in. Solid effort today, round of 72. Frank, always nice to test yourself at one of the game's great venues, the Bay Hill Club and Lodge. What a day.
Yeah, and you know you've played a golf course where the PGA Tour has visited for so many years, so...